In today's video, we're going to be talking about how the Sony-Verse Spider-Man could be someone from the multiverse, maybe even Andrew or Tobey. Let's talk about it. Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Sony-Verse Spider-Man and who is it? Because there's been a lot of questions recently regarding who will be the Sony-Verse Spider-Man. Will it be someone completely different? Will it be Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire? Or could it even be Tom Holland? But before we get into that, if you are new around here and enjoy all types of Spider-Man content, from news from the games, movies, and the shows, fan fictions, and also theory videos and speculation videos like these, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you do not miss any more Spider-Man content. And also, if you want awesome No Way Home t-shirts and the Blu-rays, make sure to click the link in the description down below. But with that being said, let's get straight into the speculation. So who is the Sony-Verse Spider-Man? This is a question we've had for the longest time. There were rumors a couple of years ago that Tom Holland was going to be the Sony-Verse Spider-Man when Amy Pascal confirmed that the Sony-Verse would run adjacent to the MCU. Obviously, after No Way Home and all the multiverse stuff has kicked off, we know this isn't true anymore, and the Sony-Verse is its separate universe in comparison to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which means it can't be Tom Holland because he is the MCU Spider-Man. Now, unless Sony pull Tom Holland from the MCU in the near future and then stick him in the Sony-Verse, there is no other way this is possible. However, this would still cause a lot of issues because, as we know from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, if someone switches universes and then stays there, this will in fact cause an incursion, which will mean that the universe will pretty much collapse in on itself, or the two universes will collide together. So if Tom were to switch universes, this would make no sense. So this pretty much rules Tom Holland's Spider-Man off the table. Also, there's probably some contractual issues, which means Tom can't be outside of the MCU at any point in time. I imagine this is probably in the contract between Disney and Sony. Obviously, we don't know much about the details of that, but that is just pure speculation, and I doubt it will be Tom Holland. Now, there is one upcoming movie in the Sony-Verse that could answer all of our questions, and I think we're getting a lot closer to revealing who Spider-Man is in the Sony-Verse. And that movie is in fact Madame Web. Not only does Madame Web focus on the multiversal aspect of Spider characters, but there are a lot of references to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in that film. Apart from the Daily Bugle logo, which appears in one of the set photos on set of Madame Web, we also do get an article referencing a scene from Spider-Man 2, where Peter pulls the girl from the fire. Now, assuming that this movie takes place in the same universe as Venom and Morbius, this wouldn't be possible as Venom already showed up in Spider-Man 3, but then obviously the Venom movies happened, which would completely contradict everything. So that rules Tobey Maguire's universe out of the window, and that pretty much confirms that as a reference to Spider-Man 2 more than anything. Then that brings us on to Andrew Garfield. Could Andrew Garfield be the Spider-Man of the Sony-Verse? Now, as we do know, Andrew Garfield is up for coming back as Spider-Man. However, in reports from a couple of months ago, it was rumored that Andrew Garfield actually said no to an offer from Sony about coming back in the Sony-Verse as Spider-Man. And this was most likely due to the fact that Morbius was a critical failure, and it looked like those movies weren't really going anywhere with any direction. And to be honest, I don't blame him. I don't see Andrew taking up a role where the movies aren't up to par. And especially if Peter Parker isn't getting a substantial story, Andrew wouldn't want to return to the role because he loves the character so much. We talked about all of this a few months ago on the channel, and because of this, I also do think that Andrew Garfield is off the table as well. Well, then that still begs the question, who is the Sony-Verse Spider-Man? Well, what this video's point has all been building up to, maybe Sony-Verse doesn't even have a Spider-Man. Maybe it's a Spider-Woman. Now that brings us back to Madame Web. As I mentioned before, Madame Web is going to be a key component in the Sony-Verse, as it looks like they are going to be introducing multiple Spider-Men and Spider-Women in that movie as Madame Web deals with the multiverse. One of them rumored to be Jessica Drew, as we've seen in a recent set photo with Emma Roberts, who is appearing pregnant on set. And as we know, one Spider character that has been pregnant in a storyline before is Jessica Drew from the comics. Maybe the Sony-Verse never had a Spider-Man to begin with, but maybe it was a Spider-Woman. Now, you guys are probably saying, well, Spider-Man has been referenced multiple times in the Sony-Verse. But guys, you've got to remember that 1, these are only references, and 2, references can be retconned in service of a story. As we know, there are multiple retcons in the Raimi universe, as Eddie Brock was referenced in Spider-Man 1, but then was was later introduced as a new character in Spider-Man 3. And also, as we do know, Dr. Connors had a different role in Spider-Man 1, getting name dropped, but then came back to be Peter's later college professor in Spider-Man 2. So multiple retcons have happened before in Spider-Man universes, and this one might be the same. And as we do know, Madame Web takes place in the early 2000s, or at least it's rumored to based on the set photos, so potentially we could be getting a movie that introduces us to a Spider character very early on, before the Venom movies take place and before the Morbius movies take place, which would explain why the Spider character, man or woman, doesn't appear in those movies. But going back to the idea of potentially being a Spider-Woman, we know that Jessica Drew is rumored to be in Madame Web. So is it possible that the Spider-Person of this Sony-verse is in fact Jessica Drew? It's certainly an option, considering it looks like there have been multiple failed attempts to bring a Peter Parker into the Sony-verse. Sony could potentially be going with a different option of Jessica Drew and then leaving Peter Parker for the MCU. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below about this theory. Do you think that there is no Peter Parker in the Sony universe, and do you think that the original Spider-Man is actually Spider-Woman potentially? And I do think with Madame Web being one of those movies that's going to reveal a lot about the multiverse, the Spider-Verse, and lots of potential Spider people, does this mean that maybe the original Spider-Man or woman could be Jessica Drew? Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this theory? Do you think that that's possible? And I want to know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to hit a like on this video if you did enjoy, and also make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss any more Spider-Man content from the news, from the games and movies, and the shows, fanfictions, and theory and speculation videos like this, when we break stuff down and we delve deep into some of the theories regarding the Sony-verse and the MCU Spider-Man movies. Also, if you want awesome No Way Home t-shirts and the Blu-rays, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care and peace.